everyone, and welcome to this Microsoft Flight Sim video. Today we're going to talk about some of the features we can actually do in the sim when it releases on August 18th. First up, we have activities. These are things to keep us busy and a reason to fly when we're not exploring the entire planet, just in case that gets boring. So we have pilot training, we have landing challenges, and then we have some bush trips. So with flight training, it's a basic introduction. There's a number of tutorials on how to actually fly in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's not like the old John and Martha King videos, but it's still going to be a relevant introductory point. There's a number of tutorials from your first takeoff, bit of navigation, all the way up to your first flight. So it's a nice handy feature to have. Moving on, we have landing challenges. Basically, you're going to have a number of landing challenges. You'll be landing in some of the most famous and iconic airports. Then you're going to have some of the most dangerous and, grass strips, or landing up the side of a mountain, or, a really short runway. And then it'll have adverse weather, so really strong crosswinds. You could be up against thunderstorms, low visibility. There was one in particular we saw with Donegal on the approach. It's amazing. You come out through the clouds, so the more of them the better. It's a points based system, so you'll get more points for the more accurate and softer your landings are going to be. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Next, we're going to look at flight planning. How do we get from point A to point B? Your flight planning, it couldn't be easier. Basically, you'll put in your departure, you'll put in your destination, and you can go GPS, you can go VOR to VOR, you can use the low altitude or high altitude airways, and the sim does a really good job of directing you there. They've teamed up with NavBlue to provide all your data for your SIDs and stars. I still think the subscription-based services, the likes of Navigraph, they're not going anywhere soon. You still need access to all your charts, but it's nice to see that from a flight planning program, it's already built in the sim. And finally, we're going to talk about multiplayer. Multiplayer in flight sims, it tends to be left to third-party developers to, create a network. You would need a third-party program to provide you with some sort of company when you're flying. They'll depict real-world flights, or they'll generate their own. With Microsoft Flight Sim, they got you covered. Basically, you have a couple of multiplayer modes whereby you have live players. With live players, it's going to be looking at the real world data for traffic sources. It's going to be live weather, live time, and everyone has to fly by the live rules. Another feature they have is going to be all players, whereby it's kind of like the first option, but you get to select what type of weather, the time. You don't got to be queuing 20 or 30 minutes at a busy airport just to get your clearance. That's going to be interesting. And then the last one they have is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. It's groups. With groups, you can create your own group, invite your own friends or teams or whatever, and you all fly together. The group leader is in charge of selecting the weather and the time of day, and also the rules that are attached to. So if you're going to be doing formation flying, or practicing for an airport, or you're creating your own missions, that's the one to do. So there we have it, a couple of more features to be looking forward to in the upcoming release of Microsoft Flight Sim. It's coming out on August 18th. Really looking forward to all these features and get our hands dirty with trying them out. I hope you guys like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.